What if thriving wasn't about getting life perfect?
but learning to find peace and purpose right in the mess.
I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Tom, and we walked away from the version of life that looked right to build one that feels alive.
We'll talk about the beauty and the struggle, from parenting and marriage to faith, well-being and travel.
This is The Whole of Us.
Welcome!
Welcome to our moody hotel room.
Today is our 13-year wedding anniversary.
Wow.
Yes, wow. It's very exciting. We have decided to book ourselves a night in the city without the kids. Thank you, grandparents. Shout out to the grandparents.
Thank you, Grammy. We love you dearly. Thanks for running Grammy Kindy.
Yes, they're currently making Christmas crafts, so they're having the best day of their lives.
It's wild.
But today, given it's our anniversary, we thought we would talk about marriage. How exciting.
It's amazing. To be honest, I like you more now than I did when we got married.
Oh, I'm just thinking if I feel the same. Yes, definitely. I think what's crazy is the last few days have felt hard between us.
Yeah.
And so to be talking about marriage today and, I don't know, processing through our journey, it feels a little bit crazy.
I think this is the beauty of it, though, is our capacity to hold the challenge and hold the messiness of life and hold the messiness of us as individuals and then how we show up in a relationship and still be okay.
It's completely transformed these last few years, though.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about this episode because I feel like it's just going to be really real. Marriage is hard.
I think that's, if we've learned anything, is your capacity to bring realness to life is amazing. And it's brought me alive. There's an ease in me to just put on the life is amazing and it's all going to be okay and there's wonderful things and there's a reality to that as well and a beauty in that of being able to see the goodness in things and trust that things are genuinely going to work out okay, because they more often than not do. But in that tends towards not acknowledging the challenge and the pain, not acknowledging where I need to grow or the situations around us need to grow or where our relationship needs to grow.
I mean, you say that and your positivity and your bent on seeing the glass as half full has been super healing to me and a huge challenge. So I can only imagine if we both sat there with the cup half empty, how difficult life would have been.
100%.
There's pros and cons to it.
Absolutely. And I think that's like looking at our relationship and reflecting on 13 years. Yeah, there's like the challenge of seeing the world very differently means you're confronted with the limitations of your own view of things.
Do you mean see the world differently because we've traveled or because
because
we got married?
I've approached things with this half full mentality and you've approached things with a half empty mentality a lot of the time, and not through a wanting to see the world in a negative trait, but because your body's been in this heightened anxious mode of I need to be in self-protection all the time. And so I've got to plan for all the possible consequences that could happen of these actions. Yeah. And so like seeing both of those things and going, okay, there's not a perfect here. There's actually, there can be balance and nuance, and we both come towards a more hopeful middle ground that acknowledges the challenge of life whilst leaning into the beauty and the joy and the hopefulness and the excitement that there is in life.
Oh, it's such a toing and froing.
Yeah.
It's a back and forth. It's a pinging left, right. I think about, we were 23 when we got married and we hadn't known each other that long.
No, 18 months.
And our dating was not typical.
No, I mean, we met in crisis. Like my family home had just gone under 5 minutes of water and we were left on the street.
City and oh my gosh, yes. It was.
And then our first year of relationship was in and out of psychology and psychiatry appointments for you and
massive PTSD.
Me driving back and forth to the different city I was studying in, like at 10 o'clock in the morning, and 10 o'clock at night or 5 a.m. in the morning because I'd missed curfew and needed to get back to study. And
I wonder sometimes, I'm like, if that set us up for success or failure. I know now you were the hero I wanted to rescue me.
100%. And you were the damsel in distress that I needed to come and rescue.
You're welcome.
You were a pretty gorgeous damsel, so I was.
It was.
I was there.
I just think it's it's such an interesting thing because I do think that was the thing that kept us together for so long and really fed into each of our needs and our protectors that were showing up. Fast forward a decade, and then the last few years we saw that totally crumble because no longer were you the hero, you were facing your own mental health crisis and your own things that you needed to deal with. And so your capacity to fix me and to be the calm in the storm completely shifted. It gave me permission as well to show up differently.
Yeah.
And we talk about, we had this victim hero mentality where you were going to rescue me and you were the hero the whole time, but actually the hero was also a protector because it disempowered me.
Yep. And it took any responsibility off me for the challenges that we had in life. I could easily just go, oh no, that's Kelsey's fault because she's the victim. I'm the hero showing up beautifully. And so.
Yeah. And you did an incredible job. Like I look at, I'm so grateful it was you. Like, and I feel tender towards you even in this moment because you spoke so much life over me as I processed things. You were safe enough that I could fall apart with you. I couldn't do that with other people. You healed me in ways that I don't know anyone else could have done. You allowed God to work through you and speak truth over me when I just couldn't see it myself. My past is there's a lot of abuse and I needed someone like you to come in and just love me through it.
Yeah.
I mean, that also leads into, I'm not hearing a lot of the conversations of people who've gotten married after having so much abuse, how they're intimately progressing or like how they show up because it's such a, I think, taboo topic and it's very, very painful.
It's brutal.
But I'm so happy to talk about it. Maybe not in this podcast, but just...
Maybe we'll do another episode on that.
With a big PG rating. No PG. No children. I just mean that, like, especially in Christian circles, if you've had any sort of colourful past, to walk into like a healthy marriage and suddenly you're married, it doesn't go away, all the trauma and the pain. And often you're left very quietly struggling. I don't think one person ever checked in on us. How's married life and your intimate life going? And if you know us well, you know
well, my
we are not afraid to talk about.
My siblings joke how long it will take for those conversations to come up when they hang out with us.
We're trying not to say the word. Don't say it in case there are young people listening. No, it's good. But I just think that like that's a whole side topic. But just to give you a picture that it was... and continued to be very, very messy. And even now, like I'll get flashbacks or there'll be things that happen that I now have a way like greater grid to know how to deal with, that it's not you needing to fix me in the moment. I have a lot more of power and autonomy, and ability to process. These microphones are super heavy. Normally we have them on a stand, so I just know I'm going to keep dropping them.
That's wonderful.
But it's an exciting thing because the last 3 years particularly has seen so much growth between us.
So what would you say the thing has been that has actually changed our marriage the most?
Oh, there's a couple of things, but I think it was a really honest look at both of us, at me.
And at me.
Yeah, individually. We actually did do some couple counseling over the last few years and
to be honest, it wasn't much fun.
It was brutal and not like, I'm sure there's a place for it.
Absolutely.
And it could have been the particular person we saw. It felt very hopeless, if you ask me, because I believe in most circumstances, it's not an us issue, it's an individual issue, that actually it required me not to stop trying to fix you and just accept where you were at. And instead of focusing on all the faults that you carried and how my life was more difficult because of you, was to own, where am I showing up in a way that's not perfect right now? It was really taking a hard look at the way.
And it took me doing the same with you, like removing my need to rescue you and the growing sense of effectively resentment that I had about having to rescue you and going, why do I even feel like I need to rescue you?
Yeah, what was it fulfilling in you?
Yeah, what was it fulfilling in me? And at the end of the day, it was fulfilling the fear of abandonment that I had. We had this phenomenal
mentor.
Yeah. Who we walked through life with for a little while. And he had a conversation with us in the midst of us not doing so well. And
he was pretty honest.
He was very blunt. And he basically said, you guys are better friends with abandonment than you are with each other.
Yeah, we had hit this pretty dangerous cycle of, I want to say threatening to leave, and that certainly came into it a few times. There was you're just angry, you're done, you're at the end of the road. I just couldn't see. We had both changed so much.
Yeah.
We were both in a deep process of healing, I guess, but it was more just an awareness of we were both changing.
Totally.
Because the roles we had played our whole marriage of hero and victim were shifting.
Yeah. And it's interesting, like this concept of personifying an emotion really helped, because when we looked at this third person in the marriage of abandonment and went, oh, we're like,
that's the enemy.
We're both fighting this thing.
Yes.
And inadvertently fighting each other because we're not actually seeing the third thing that we're both fighting. And when we started to shift our attention and went, that's the mutual goal, is to get rid of this thing, abandonment.
Yes.
And it's so interesting because like abandonment for me showed up as, if I fix you enough, you won't leave me.
Yeah.
And for you as victim, it was, if I'm sick enough, if I have enough needs, you will keep looking after me and not leave me.
You will fix me.
Yeah. And so
it took you basically saying to me, I'm not going to fix you anymore.
Yeah.
We were in France, guys. France.
I don't know whether we're going back to France.
That was it was just probably a couple months into traveling, and
about 3 months in. So the honeymoon period was over.
It was Easter Sunday, and we were at a castle. Kids were like ready to go.
The most beautiful chateau, to do an egg hunt through the woodland there.
This is a really vulnerable share. I just couldn't see how we could get better. And I was sitting in the car, the kids were outside the car, and I said, I'm going to book a flight home, thinking I'll take the kids. I'll have to somehow figure out work and living arrangements and that type of thing, and we'll go home. And Tom, you can live your own life. I don't need you anymore. So all my protectors were coming in. I don't want to need you. I'm going to make myself so independent that I don't have to rely on you anymore. And you said to me, if that's what you want to do, okay. Not so much about the kid thing, but just like, if you want to leave, I'm not stopping you anymore.
And it was in that moment that I'd done enough of my own work to go, I can't actually fix you. And it's not even my responsibility to fix you. It's actually just my responsibility to love you and to show up in kindness and in compassion and do what I can. But like at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to fix you, and you have a choice here. By me trying to fix you continually or trying to do the things for you, I was effectively removing your autonomy, and
keeping
in many
powerless.
senses, it's a form of control.
Yeah.
Which sounds like,
as we sit here going, oh my goodness, yes. Yours just looked so much cleaner.
It did look very pretty.
Your way of showing up looked like hero, right? Hero status. Who wouldn't want to be the hero and be the one who can fix it for everyone and have all the answers? And you're self-sacrificing left, right, and center. And what an incredible man. And you were. And
it brought me to the end of myself.
Yeah.
Which is where I'd gotten into complete burnout because of the healthcare role that I was in. And so in that moment where I went, actually, I don't need, I can be okay myself, even if you're not okay.
Yeah.
And just that simple statement of, I don't need to abandon myself to fix you. I can actually be with me and trust that you're going to be okay. And even if that looks messy.
Almost empowered me to have to really lean into the fact, could I be okay?
Yeah.
If you suddenly weren't there to catch me continuously or hear our hearts. We're not talking about loving each other well and stepping into the places as naturally you want to do when you care for someone.
Absolutely.
We've committed to each other for our whole life. So it's not that conversation. It was, I had created a God out of you.
Yeah.
What an unfair, expectation on someone who's human.
Yeah.
So for you to show up human, that was immediate threat. For
Absolutely.
you to have needs was brutal.
Yeah.
And for you to feel emotion was terrifying. You had been
Mr. Consistent.
So consistent, and you definitely are still way less emotional than me. But the flip side of this journey was that because you did the work to understand what was happening in your body, in allowing yourself to have needs, to be human and accept yourself where you were at, it enabled you to see me differently.
Yeah. Oh, hugely.
It wasn't like this, they talk about the difference between sympathy and empathy, and this sort of that's a separation. Instead, it was this, you could feel what I was feeling. Oh, I know what it feels to be that terrified, because I've also experienced that, because I've looked at that in me, that level of sadness. Oh, I can feel that. Like, you understood my story. Even if the circumstances were very, very different, you could sit in it with me differently without trying to fix me. Because to be fair, a lot of the time I actually didn't want you to fix me.
No.
I just wanted you to be with me.
Yeah.
And that was what was really lacking in our relationship for a very long time. It was sort of this looking down at me like, I see you down there. Of course not, obviously, but subconsciously, now that we've identified more of what was internally going on in both of us, that was the experience.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. I still think like that moment really was this beautiful turning point, as messy as it was, because I remember saying to you, okay, like that's all right.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do. I was very keenly aware that I wanted to make sure you were safe. And so I made sure that you had a phone, that you had what you needed. And then I said, okay, I'm going to take the girls and we're going to go and do this egg hunt. If you'd like to join us, we'd love you too.
So we've literally just decided we weren't going to make it, and then we had to put on smiles and do an egg hunt and pretend it was okay.
Now, fair cop, we did go in and it was probably a good hour before you joined us.
Yeah. And then I sort of had to pretend it was fine. I didn't have to pretend. It's just, the kids were there, and if you're a parent, you understand that sort of.
You want to show up with a bit of a face on at times.
Well, so much of my life, my emotions have absolutely run the show and impacted you and the girls and probably everybody around me. And that was, I would say it wasn't like that was the moment that suddenly changed me. It was a progression from basically a year before we left Australia.
Yeah.
As we deep dived into this more emotional healing work, which transformed everything.
Yeah.
We talk about that probably in every episode. It's just we're so passionate about it. But it was really for our marriage. That was a big wake-up call. And I think after that, it did ping back and forth. The other beauty of that moment is when we got married, we're Christians, the divorce was never a factor. It was this unspoken word. We're not allowed to use it. And I'm not talking like, no, and so we'd sort of decided to put it on the table after that France thing and say, hey, is this something we want to look at and do? I say this because I think when you're threatening divorce, that's very different.
Totally. If you're using that as
cruel, and it erodes trust, and it's very difficult to
rebuild trust from that place of, if you do something wrong, I'm going to threaten to leave.
Yeah.
It creates a lot of unsafety.
And we were tiptoeing in that area.
Yeah.
It was sort of this little, I don't know, red flag. We kept I don't know what the word is, but just wanting to really describe how unhappy and in pain I was, and vice versa, by sort of threatening this thing. And so part of us bringing it onto okay, if we want a divorce, okay, how's this going to look?
Can we have an honest conversation about it? And in this moment as well, we were going through this emotional health coursework, which really hit on the point of, we get to make conscious choices in our life. Yes, there's a lot of factors around us that we don't have control over, but we always have control over how we show up and the internal choices that we make that then affect our external. We may not always be cognizant of the why behind why we're making a particular choice, but the more we understand our story, the more we understand our own journeys of things, the more we can go, that's why I'm choosing into this. And so, like I say, from the get-go, we'd kind of gone, no, a divorce is just never on the table. We're never going to use that word. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to, because foreseeably, we removed that choice by choosing into a covenant relationship. And in its truest form, yes, by choosing into a covenant relationship, you are removing that choice. You're saying, no, I'm going to be with you till the day I die.
Yeah.
And there is so much beauty in that, which we'll come to in a moment. But by acknowledging that in our humanness, like, we do have a choice. We can absolutely choose out of something.
It was putting it on the table. And it removed resentment and bitterness.
Because suddenly I could go, if I've decided that I just can't leave, I don't have a choice. And then I'm going to feel angry about it. I'm going to feel like, well, I can't leave and I've just got to put up with you.
Well, that's what was happening.
Yeah. And it was awful.
Yeah.
We were both feeling miserable with that. But then once you go,
wait a second.
I'm not just forced to stay. I'm choosing to stay.
And the perspective shifts dramatically.
Because all of a sudden, I get to go, well, if I'm choosing to stay, that means I get to choose how I show up. That means I need to stop threatening, like, leaving or threatening, like, dumb things because...
It's a full choosing in.
Yeah.
And it's because I want to. Obviously, there is, like, the covenant thing that I think if we really got there, I don't know that we would have chosen out. But maybe, I don't know. I can imagine, like, if you're listening and you're in the process of divorce or you've been divorced, I can't imagine the pain to get to that point. And so this is totally not a judgment.
No.
This is just an awareness of we get to choose. We actually,
And at the end of the day, a marriage takes two people choosing.
Yes.
And we've seen this in couples where one person very consciously has chosen in and the other person does not want to.
Yeah.
And it's devastating because you see one person who's prepared to do the work on themselves primarily and then the flow on of that into their marriage, but the other person's not choosing in, and that's ended up in them separating.
And I don't have a judgment on it.
No.
Like, do I believe that marriage is forever? Yes, I do. Like, that's in the ideal world, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm not in your shoes. I'm not in your circumstances, in your body. And so I don't want to judge that because I do think there is so much more to the conversation.
But I think probably the big thing is going with a relationship like this, I don't have the capacity or the ability to fix the other. I can only work on myself.
So therefore, there is an acceptance of where I'm at.
Yeah.
For our relationship to work, I also couldn't love you from a place of fixing you. That's not love.
No, it's not.
That's manipulation.
Yeah.
If I'm loving you to get to something, then that's not actually a pure sense of the word.
No. And it's sad then because it drives disconnection.
Yeah, you can feel that.
Absolutely. And I think one of the big things we noticed as I began to experience more emotions, it created less safety on one hand because the stability of me just being consistent all the time. But on the flip side, it created way more safety because there was an authenticity to the way I was showing up. Because nobody is perfect. Nobody is able to show up beautifully all the time with no, what's the word I'm looking for here? No internal drive to fix.
Yeah, it was you showing up being like, I'm fine, but I can feel you're not fine.
Yeah,
How
so
do you
the
trust that?
congruency there just wasn't there. So once I was able to go, once I was just showing up with a little bit more difference.
But it wasn't even messy emotion necessarily. It was actually your communication style changed.
Yeah.
You were able to articulate things that I was already feeling. So in the past, you would have just said, I'm fine, and kept going. And I could just feel, something's off. And, I start to feel like what's going on or whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
You can feel that. Everyone knows that experience. When you started to say, hey, I'm actually really angry about this thing, it created, okay, I get that. Yeah. There was suddenly compassion there as opposed to this, it was connection over disconnection.
Yes. Yeah. Which is...
It's funny how men really struggle with emotions. And I get it because actually you having emotions felt, if I'm really honest, less masculine.
Yeah.
That my bias or deep opinion, subconscious even opinion is that men shouldn't I can be messy and fall apart, but you've got to be strong for
and
us.
hold it all together.
And the truth is, as you started to feel more, articulate more, you were actually way more attractive to me. You seemed more powerful, more stronger.
Yeah.
You understood you, and therefore you understood me. It felt way more masculine and manly. It was way more attractive. It wasn't like you're on the floor sobbing every time, but I did see you sob. Like, I hadn't seen that much before. Like, I'm thinking for the men out there, I imagine there is a big cost to being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And feeling your emotions.
Yeah.
What do you think that cost is?
It's humility. And honestly, pride is a wild thing because it's so subtle. It's so like it can be totally overt in the sense of like you see people who are walking around big mouthing themselves and saying how good they are. But like for me, pride wasn't that. It was subtle. It was, I know I'm doing a better job than everybody around me.
Or I've got it together.
Or I've got it together more than people around me. I've got it together more than my wife, so I'm okay.
Or I'm not affected.
Yeah. And being unaffectable was something that I prided myself on to a degree.
I think potentially as well, just to interject, also this fear of if I allow myself to feel, how do I stop that train?
Yeah.
Like, can I survive that? How do I continue providing or doing all the things that were important to you as a man, but as a person? How do you balance the two?
Yeah. And I think that's the challenge of starting to feel things removes the safety that you find in just being okay. Because when you can just put up a wall and go, I'm just okay. And I always will be okay.
Yeah.
There's like, okay, that's what I can plant myself on.
Also, the protector of really feeling is really painful.
Yeah.
Just that simple.
And I think probably as well, there's a part that was, I can't trust anybody else to hold me in this.
You're an island.
I'm an island. Yeah. And that's crushing because we're made to do life together. We're made to do life in the arms of other people. And I think in relationship, and like we talked about in the regulation episode, like co-regulation is crucial to our ability to survive as humans. Like you take away that close, intimate relationship where you can truly be seen and we become shells of ourselves. And that was what was happening to me. I was looking like I was connected, but I was an island.
Yeah.
And so...
Well, you just wouldn't let people really see you.
Yeah.
And I think, obviously there's wisdom to that as well, because I think even to this day, many people, if you met you on the street, you wouldn't know how, of course, but for sure, I can only imagine how isolating and lonely that would have been and how hopeless.
Yeah.
Because how do you get better without vulnerably being able to look at your life?
Well, suddenly feeling exposed and naked and like this, who's actually going to accept me if I'm not all that I present?
And the unraveling that comes from the honesty and accepting where you are is terrifying.
Yeah, it is. And it's a journey that isn't quick either. It's not like I can look at this thing and then, okay, I'll put it back in the box and be done with it. We'll carry on with life. It
doesn't work like that.
No,
does it?
It's taken years to get to a point where there is confidence now to go, yeah, I'm me.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I had another close mentor say to me many years ago, she's like, who are you? And I was like, well, I'm a professional and I'm a business owner and I'm a dad and I'm a husband and I'm a child of God and I'm a this and a that. And she's like, no, you're Tom.
What is that?
And I'm like, who the hell's he? I don't know who Tom is. Tom's just somebody who does things.
It's relatable for all of us because I think at some point in our lives we have to face that question, who am I? Absolutely.
And coming back to like, okay, well, if I can even think who Tom is to a 1%, do I even like him? Do I even want to know him? Is he even worth time and attention? And those questions are ones that I've had to wrestle with because honestly, I didn't believe him.
Well, and what is Tom without all the other things?
Yeah.
And as we saw these last few years, a lot of those things did get stripped away.
Yeah.
And I think very, for men particularly, it's very, what's the word?
Vulnerable.
It's vulnerable and relatable.
Yeah.
And like, this is a marriage episode, right? But so much of marriage is exactly this. You have to go on a journey to understand who you are to be able to show up for the other person.
Yeah.
You have to learn to love yourself regardless of the other person. This level of
and I can't rely on the other person to fix me. I can't wait in relationship for them to say the right thing or to accept me perfectly. It's like I get to do that.
I mean, the opposite of that is that I don't need you and I'm going to be independent.
Totally. And it's not going to that extreme.
Totally. It's meeting in the middle. I think that the number one thing for a success of a marriage is this growth mindset that both people carry. I think it's still possible to have a very successful marriage, even if one person wants to do the work. Like, I can't speak on that, but I just know that if you were choosing a partner and you both had this growth mindset, which is a willingness to own things, a humility, a pursuing not growth for success or performance stuff. It's this, I think it's a humility to really look and be teachable and just be like, I'm getting that wrong. There were times when we came back, especially a year ago. Was it a year ago? No, when we came back in between the trips and
it's just over a year ago.
It was a mess. The lowest one of the lowest I've ever been.
We both were.
That was when we were, after France, and it just sort of kept rolling on. And that was when our beautiful mentor said, "You've got this partner
of abandonment,
you've got this relationship with abandonment." And for us both individually, we had to sit with that fear of abandonment and really heal that, because we weren't going to be able to do that. We weren't going to be able to have this relationship that we really did want as a married couple without wrestling with this fear of abandonment.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get out before you could get out, and just this constant back and forth. And it was so cruel and so unfair.
Yeah.
Part of that was seeing the places I was showing up really messily, even when I could say, I was really triggered and I was really hurt and I was really angry, and being like, that was not okay. And sitting in it with you in the ownership and being like, I imagine that felt really scary and you felt very small. I was very good at bitey words. I still do struggle with that. If we're being honest, in a triggered mindset, it's really hard not to just want to shred something. That this is marriage. This is the to and from, the to and froing.
Yeah.
The walking together, the owning, the way you're messily showing up and asking for forgiveness.
Yeah.
And allowing you or me the time to heal from the damage to repair.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just thinking here, like, we were listening to our pastor the other day talking about marriage, and he's like, I'm not in a relationship. Is it like marriage is not a relationship, it's a covenant.
Yeah.
And a covenant's different to a contract. It's different to a relationship. It's different to a friendship or a partnership. It is this lifelong choosing in with deliberate intent.
Like, I would die for you. Like, we are
literally
one. Yeah.
Yeah, we are one. And it's interesting you're talking about like that moment, the moments where we've sat with one of our emotions and the other one's been able to just sit and hold space for that. And it's, I mean, this is the beauty of it, is like, as we've done our own work and built a deeper sense of connection to ourselves and a capacity in ourselves, our capacity to then love the other and hold space for the messiness and not be like, yeah, but you also did this and this and this in that moment, and just go, yeah, that sucks. And I'm really sorry.
Yeah, like, as in not defend.
Not defend in a moment, because oftentimes
what you also did wrong.
like one of us might be more triggered than the other one, or one of us is feeling more pain in a moment than the other one, or to be honest, we're both feeling a lot of pain, and it just takes one of us softening enough and trusting the relationship enough to be able to come back and go, okay, right now I can put my needs aside for a second and I can come and be with you.
I wonder if it's trusting your relationship enough or trusting you enough.
Exactly. It's trusting that I'm going to be okay regardless of if I like step into this and put my needs aside for a moment. Even if you don't come back to me afterwards and acknowledge, I'm still going to be okay.
Crazy vulnerability and humility requires you to know you've got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That if that person turns around and was like, here's my long list, it's to be like, okay, yeah, you didn't show up perfectly. I think the only way we were able to get to these places was to reject shame on all of our failures or faults or ways we were messily showing up. The second shame got in, boom, big defenses.
Totally.
We would argue back. It even if I didn't say you got up, like you were upset of some behavior I had done. If I just come to the party and are defending myself, regardless of whether I think it's wrong or right, it matters because it matters to you.
Yeah.
And it matters because you were hurt.
Yeah. And regardless of whether I saw the situation totally differently, it's like, oh, your experience in this moment is hurting.
The truth is, if I can sit with you, validate the pain you're feeling, sit with you in it, I can then from that place say, hey, do you mind if I share some insight of my experience of this?
Yeah.
You've created a safety. The relationship circuits are back on because we're not highly triggered and, in fight or flight or whatever. That is the repair necessary for a healthy marriage.
Yeah. And it's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is so good. Like, I wish we'd known this 10 years ago.
We had to do this with small things first, like in small moments where it like, or moments where, like even dumb things, like I missed you in a moment, or like I got the wrong thing of food for you, or like something happened and there was a delay in some reason.
Struggling to think of anything
I'm trying to think of
possibly
anything.
Have done
I
that
am.
would upset,
I literally am.
Yeah.
Even last night, walking into the room when you were listening to something and you'd asked for some space, and I was just like, "But I'm just bringing you water."
I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I'd said I want some space, and so leave me alone. But in that moment, I could get defensive and be like, "But I'm just bringing you water. Like, get over it. Like, I've just walked into the room for 2 minutes.
I'm trying to do something nice to you. I love, like, here's some soda water."
Or just going, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I can see that you wanted some space, and I've interrupted that. And I understand that your head sometimes just needs total quiet and not a distraction.
Well, and then it takes me coming out later and once I've calmed down and had that quiet space that I asked for in the first place, being like, hey, I could see your intention was to love me and just to look after me. And that was really nice of you. And, I'm sorry I reacted that way.
Yeah.
I've lost my train of thought now.
It's okay. The beauty of those little moments, though, is that as we've gotten better at doing that and not taking offense immediately, the more we've been able to come towards bigger pain points and express pain, and not always do that as neatly or as nicely as we would want to.
Gosh, we have expressed earth-shattering pain to each other. I would say, like, that in the past, there is no way I would be in the same town as you to listen to how I've wronged you, but
because the shame resilience, which I love that phrase.
It's the best.
It's so. What is shame resilience? Talk me through it.
I mean, it's basically your ability to hear somebody else's how they've been affected by you, and not have that inner voice
that screams, "You're bad."
Yeah. So you could say something that in the past, and I still get that feeling, but I'm able to very quickly, most of the time, like even if it's a parenting thing and you're upset about something I've done for the girls or whatever, and my shame would normally be like, you're such a bad mum. Like, how could you have missed that? Like that inner critic that gets really loud and you just can feel it. And now I'm like, hey, no, I'm not going to listen to that. I can take ownership and be like, yeah, you know what? I really missed them in that moment. And then go deal with my heart and be like, that feels really yucky. And the shame still comes, but it's just so unhelpful. So it's like when I say it comes, I'm like, yeah, I can feel it poking its head up and wanting to really, I don't know, shun me.
You're able to acknowledge the pain of, yeah, I missed it. The pain of, oh, I wish I could do this better. The pain of like, it's just not there. I'm just not able to.
Yeah.
And then I think the beauty of shame resilience is you have deep compassion and then you're able to go, okay, I'm a powerful person.
Yeah, it's actually an empowering position to be.
Yeah.
It also means that if people are hurt by you, you can hear it and you can repair.
Yes.
If you don't have shame resilience and someone comes to you and tells you what you've done wrong, even if you haven't or you don't think it has, to be able to sit with someone and their experience matter without you condemning yourself, that's such a powerful place to be.
It's huge. Well, the simplest version of it we've heard described is just because they're sad doesn't mean I'm bad.
Yeah.
Which is such a neat framing of it.
It also doesn't deny ownership.
Responsibility.
And responsibility.
No.
Because I've also seen this with the shame resilience of like, oh, well, like, and I think it's a fraudulent shame resilience because that's not truth.
Me, totally. Because I was the hero. And so I was able to go, yeah, well, I can't have done anything wrong. So.
Do you think you actually felt that though? I think you would have a pretty loud inner critic.
So I think for me, my inner critic's been very quiet, very subtle. Like I don't hear an obvious voice because the belief in me is so strong that I could only do the right things.
Yeah.
And it's only been the last couple of years that I know, it's pretty wild.
Whoa.
Yeah. The arrogance.
Yeah. And which you can see it was necessary for the life that you were living.
It was a massive protector.
Yeah.
And the further down this path of self-discovery I've gone, the louder that critic has gotten and the more able I've been to acknowledge,
I've definitely seen the critic get louder. I've seen you freeze and shame up way more than I ever have. And that's, I just see little Tom in a corner just like feeling bad and sad, all of the feelings.
Whereas typically I would have just gotten lawyery. Or
lawyered out of it, told me why.
Yeah, and would have had great justifications and great arguments for why you're wrong and I'm right.
And not always verbally. I very rarely remember you verbally telling me why I'm wrong. You would just go quiet. So I think there was an internal, well, you can feel that, but actually that's not true.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So fun. I just think it's such a beautiful conversation because it feels hopeful.
Oh, man. Like I said at the start, I like you more now than I did when we got married. I love you more now than I did when we got married.
It's so much richer.
I know how to love you better.
Because I know how to love myself better too.
Yeah, and I know how to love myself better.
Yeah,
which means that the love that we're actually sharing is a much truer expression of love. It's not a facade. It's not like I love you, I love you, I love you, and it's making me feel really good. It's I know you.
Yeah.
I know how messy you are.
It feels very safe in that. I think we've built our marriage now to a place that I feel like no matter what comes, and I say that, we never know, but like that we have skills now, an ability to communicate, an ability for us to self-regulate, to co-regulate, to be together and walk the journey a little more connected.
Yeah.
It's way more safer. It's safer.
Yeah. And there's way more trust that in the moments of disconnection that we're going to come back together, that it's going to be okay, that we can have a messy conversation and it can finish and we both walk away and go, crap, that sucked. And know that we're going to come back.
I'm just thinking of, like we said, the last few days have been hard. And then this time, like a couple months ago, it was really hard. I think it's not getting caught in those huge moments of riding the wave and emotions together, that life does happen. We've had some big personal stuff happening lately, and that's made our capacities really small and showing up messily and unable to regulate as easily as I have in the past. And the goal is not to be all regulated the whole time.
Yeah.
It really is about the repair. I think it's the articulation of internal world and what's going on, and ability to articulate our own needs to each other. That's changed as well in a really beautiful way.
Yeah.
And it's just having more compassion for where each other is at. I think I was just thinking as we were prepping for this podcast, one of the coolest things that we started in our marriage early on, and it has been a game changer. Ready for this hack, guys? Was do you know what I'm going to say?
I know what you're going to say.
The toothpaste.
Oh man,
is that what you thought I was going to say?
Yeah, of course.
We're so in sync. Every night, whoever goes to clean their teeth first, they put toothpaste on the other person's thing. And even if you're angry, couple times, maybe once, I haven't done it.
Couple of times. And it feels
like it's
so cutting. It's like, wow.
She must be
pissed. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a very conscious decision, and I'm getting better at it. But I think it has been such a beautiful thing because once a day, at least, when we go in to clean our teeth at night. There's an
expression of, I thought about you and I love you.
Yeah, so basically I have to linger around outside enough till you've put toothpaste and I never have to deal with it. I don't know. I just hate putting, can we just talk about that, how annoying putting toothpaste on a toothbrush is?
You just don't like saliva at the best of times.
It's all so gross. Anyway.
And it's great you married a dentist.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Well, people don't need to hear this.
No.
But that is such a cool hack.
An intentional movement towards, and again, this is this softening that we've talked about. Like, another way we've heard it described is it's like you're playing tennis with someone, and you can either smash the ball at each other as hard as you can, or one of you can just try gently lob it back, expecting that the other person's probably going to just smash it back at you again, but you can just try a gentle lob shot back again.
Did you hear that from someone?
Yeah. Oh. And it's just this nice kind of like, okay, I get to choose how hard I hit the ball back. I get to choose, like, am I going to come at you with aggression or with just gentle playfulness?
I'm imagining just smashing a tennis ball. I know that feels
particularly
because
really you believe you're so much better at tennis than I am.
Yeah. It's an ongoing thing. I'm pretty sure I am. I don't know how that analogy quite lands, but I know what you're saying.
It's the movement towards. The and it doesn't have to be a big thing. Like that toothpaste thing is not a big thing. It's not like this grand expression of love. It's not like the flowers and the this and the that. It's
but that's why I love it, because that is simple. Yeah. It's so small. Yeah. Relationships are made up of small, tiny, incremental moves towards each other. Yeah. And that is trust. That is love. Like it's this choosing in.
Yeah. As fun as booking a hotel room with you and coming away for a night is, it's the little moments that actually mean way more.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, part one. I think we'll have to do another part because there's a lot to say.
There is a lot.
Yeah, send in any questions.
We love this.
Such a great conversation. Subscribe. Find us on all the channels.
Subscribe, share. If you're on YouTube, follow us there. If you're not, jump on over to YouTube and give us a like or a subscribe. We're really excited to be having these conversations. I love you, my beautiful one.
Love you. Bye. That was fun.
Oh, these are so heavy.
Oh, man. How many...